Hello and welcome to this video and to my bed and to me in glasses. Yeah, sorry you didn't get a video last week. This is where I spent most of it because I haven't been well. Eloise gave us the flu, or what I can only assume is a flu type thing. I ended up really achy bones, shivery, then over to absolutely boiling and sweating buckets and then back to shivery. The inability to really move a lot. I've spent a fair amount of time laying in bed because of the pounding headache and the really sore throat and the gammy eyes. So yeah, it's not been the most pleasant of times. I got it a bit before Pete, so he's a bit behind me, although he's now also pretty much on the mend. So I got it on the Monday, he got it on the Wednesday. Thankfully, for me at least, my worst days, Eloise was at nursery, so although I was working, it's definitely an inverted commas for one of the mornings, I could relax. Tuesday I was feeling pretty rotten, but I was still okay, so I was working normally. I had a bit of a gap at one point of a couple of hours, so I took my laptop to the sofa and laid there instead so that I could lay down. The Wednesday morning, however, I was supposed to have 2 meetings in the morning, and I was like, right, well, after managing to get Jeff out for a walk, I brought my laptop up here to bed to lay down. I think I answered an email because my first meeting at 10 had been cancelled, which I was thankful for. So I start at 8, so it gave me like 3 hours to lay in bed before I had to get up and actually make myself appear presentable for an 11 o'clock meeting. So I had a nap. When I woke up from that nap, that meeting had also been cancelled. So I managed to, was in bed till about 12:30 that day. I had several sleeps and then was like, no, I need to get up. I had afternoon meetings which did go ahead there, and then I did a similar thing on the Thursday as well, although more working, less napping, but I did spend the morning in bed to sort of rest up whilst doing it, which worked out well. And then, as I said, Friday Eloise was at home, as was Pete. He was day 3 at that point, so towards the peak of his, so although he did help a bit with her, it was largely me. He spent time in bed and stuff as well. So yeah, that's been the week. We did manage yesterday, which was Sunday, to get out to do some gardening, which I filmed a bit of, so I'll put in a speeded up version of that if the footage came out okay. I wish I'd taken it before, because I'd already done like a good 40 minutes on that area before I started filming, so I wish I'd done it before of that. So our green bin is again full, ready for collection in a couple of weeks, but we're gonna have to start not just waiting for that, because we basically need to pull everything out of our garden and start again. But I mean, I was essentially chopping down a tree yesterday, so that was fun. few clips of her where she's been being cute and dancing and all of that kind of stuff. One thing that, I mean, it will happen because these things always do, but I'm not sure of at the moment is how to encourage her to have walking as her primary movement rather than crawling, because her default is still to sit down and crawl, which I'm sure it will be for a while. But obviously she can do the walking, just not very far. She is getting slightly more confident at letting go of furniture and maybe taking 2 steps, but more than that she's not really doing, unless it's like between us, like we can stand her up and walk, she'll walk however long to Pete or to me or whatever, but she won't necessarily do that on her own. Although, you know, still early days, I'm sure it will come. But yeah, here's some clips of Eloise.
You crashed.
I did a big old Shein order the other day for lots of different bits and bobs, and that parcel's been sat by my bed for almost a week, because I just hadn't had the energy to sort it out. I did get 2 bits from that order early. There were 2 dresses for me, one of them I'm sending back. One of them I actually wore out already for a surprise party that we went to the other week, just before I got ill, in fact. So what I thought I'd do is show you what I got in that order, because it's Shein, it's going to come in like millions different of bags, so what I think I'm going to do is unpack everything and then I'll show you, so you don't have to listen to the rustling. So let's do that one, shall we? This is possibly the most random haul I've ever done. But to start off with, I bought 2 cards. They're supposed to be Father's Day cards. This one says happy birthday. I don't know whether I ordered happy birthday or whether they've sent me happy birthday. But that's obviously incorrect. Damn it. I've got a few toys. Again, because we're heading away, so I just picked up a stick it to the tray, arms will extend little giraffe thing that we can have for on the plane, something new. I saw these My First sticker books with like reusable stickers. Thought that could be good. It does say 3+ here, but I'll have a look and open them up and see. I might either save them both for like a stocking at Christmas, or I might give one in the plane and have one for that. But I need to open them up and have a look. This is definitely not for the plane or the holiday or whatever. This is to go away for Christmas. It's a greedy caterpillar rope toy thing. I know one of the skills, I suppose, that eventually she'll need to work out is how to like thread beads, and I thought this was a clever idea in that you have the different foods as the beads and then the string is the caterpillar, like the Very Hungry Caterpillar, which is a book we don't own yet, but we will do eventually. And then you give her like a card and she has to match them up and stuff. I thought that could be quite good. And again, this was like maybe £4. Maybe this was one of the more expensive toys that I bought. But I thought that would be a good Christmas present. The box is a little battered, but I mean, she's going to destroy it further, so there's that one. One of the things we were definitely short of for our holiday is hats, so I've got her two of this style with the long neck and the peak. These ones just happen to have ears. I've got one in pink and one in white. They are supposedly good in the sun and all of that. They also have the little string that can go underneath her neck, and the sort of mesh lining, so I think that probably means they're possibly good in water. Well, they will have to be good in water because she'll wear them in the pool. Hopefully she'll keep that on her head. We're trying to work on that, but they again were only a couple of pounds. We are going on a pool type holiday, so we brought a rubber ring. This one happens to have a canopy and a steering wheel, so hopefully we can keep her a bit more shaded. Before we go, we are going to have to open this up and blow it up and see whether it's okay. But that is not one for today. And then I couldn't resist. It's a very small bucket and spade with like a watering can and things like that for us to play with on holiday as well. So that's all the stuff for Eloise, largely. And let's go on to the bits for me. First up is this white t-shirt, because I have a skirt that I really want to wear and I don't know what to wear it with, and I liked the look of this, although it does come up much shorter than I anticipated. I am also wearing a grey bra and it is semi-see-through, but here we go. So I think I might not like this because I thought it would come down a little bit lower. I do like the idea of it with a high-waisted skirt, but I have a feeling this is shorter than I thought it was. I will try it on with the skirt because that's the whole point of this top. The back's fine. The back is obviously lower than the front. But yeah, I'm not sure on this one, so that might be going back with the dress that I've already didn't like because it made my shoulders look really big. I got another one of these quarter zip fluffy jumpers because I absolutely lived in my green one last winter, so I've got another one. I've just got it in black, so that's definitely going to stay. Like that a lot, even though it's entirely the wrong season for it now, but I will be thankful in winter when I have two snuggly jumpers to sit in. So yeah, I can highly recommend these. They're so comfy and they wash reasonably well. Another jumper, because I live in jumpers and jeans these days, is the Silly Old Bear jumper, which has been advertised to me a lot and I like it. The material on this is definitely not as soft. But again, it's reasonably oversized, which I like. The sleeves are a good length for me. I like them when they're not like up here sort of thing. I like them longer. So yeah, again, I'll probably be keeping this one for whenever I want a jumper. I like the design. I don't know how well this will wash, but again, this will have cost me maybe a £5 or £7, something like that. So, and everything that I'm in, everything I've ordered is a 12 to 14. Which obviously in this, if you like a more fitted jumper, you could probably size down if you're a 12 to 14 because there's a lot of room in it, but I'm more into a slightly baggier jumper these days. And lastly is this dress, again ignore my bra, but this will go back because it's doing absolutely nothing for me. I don't like the cut. I don't like the, yeah, I think even if I tied it tighter, yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. I don't like it, so this dress will go back as well. Fortunately, the dress haul in this portion of Shein, they look so pretty on the models in the pictures that they had, but they've not really come out chumps for me. Not that I really needed any new dresses. I just am feeling a bit bleh about my wardrobe. So yeah, there's one more item. One more item is these black sandals, because I realised I either had Havaianas or I had like trainers. Don't really have any sandals. These are in a 3.5, I think, or a 36, because I have tiny feet. So I need to try these on and see how they go. They feel nice. They're a bit suede-y, but yeah, let's see how that goes. And now I need to also tidy up my mess. That is my Shein haul.
2 days later.
So that smoke can only mean one thing. It's barbecue time. So we bought that tiny little barbecue last summer, used it once. But as the weather's been so nice recently, we thought, why not have another one? So we've got it on the go. The only issue we have now is that Eloise is far more mobile, but she only really goes outside when someone's with her anyway, so it should be fine. But I'm not sure I should be smoking quite as much as that though. But yeah, so barbecue time. It's time. Yeah, they're dinosaurs, Jeff. You don't need to grumble at them. It's that time of year. It's Eurovision time. To which I'm gonna sit here on my own and watch Eurovision while he goes and plays games.
Yes, I've delayed so long.
I might try and find some sort of chat to join, so I'm less lonely watching Eurovision, but it's got to be done. Most people dislike the UK entry this year, but I actually think it's quite a good song. And if they can stage it right and they can get their vocals, we'll at least do well with the judges, I think. So I would be surprised if we're 0 points. But I mean, we're not going to win, because we never do, because, you know, it's political. But hey, that's my thing. I've heard, I think it's Sweden that are doing the one about the sauna. I've heard that song. That's the only other song I've heard. It was entertaining. It was funny. Those are the things that tend to do quite well. But we'll see. But now is the time for Eurovision fun. So I did have a late night watching the Eurovision Song Contest. I have thoughts. I did find a few chats to join, so I scoured Twitter throughout, because I do that anyway because it makes me laugh. My book club Discord thing actually had a few people going on about Eurovision, so I joined in with that a little bit. And of course I was texting my brother, because we often do, if he's not sat with me, we often have a little text back and forth about the silly things that go on in Eurovision. So yeah, it's good. I would say I found this year a bit underwhelming. None of the songs particularly stood out to me. There's normally like 1 or 2 that I really enjoy that get stuck in my head, that I end up like sticking on Spotify or something. But none of them really did that this year. In fact, the only one that's really stuck in my head is the UK one, which, as I said, I quite like, but a lot of people don't. Of course, we didn't win. We came 19th this year, which is one less than last, even though I think the song's better this year. So we did well with the juries. We were, I think, 11th after all of the country's jury votes. So they're the people with musical knowledge that each country has, like a panel of, say, like 5 people that vote. As I said, we did all right with that. We even got 12 points from Italy, which was a lot of fun and something that never happened, so I had a silent cheer to that one. But whenever it comes to viewers' votes, we just don't get anything. The poor girls got 0. Thankfully, they weren't the only ones. And some of the songs that, like, Graham Norton was saying were going to do really well then got like 8 votes or whatever. So it was a bit all over the place. The winner is yet another male with a falsetto voice. It's basically the same thing that won last year, but thankfully beat Israel, because that would have been a bit problematic, but they came second. There's this whole like conspiracy going on online that Israel basically have botted a load of the votes, and that's how they came top in so many countries, viewer votes. But I don't think I believe that, but there we go. That's what the online conspiracy theory of Eurovision is. So yeah, Austria won. Songs I liked, I did enjoy Sweden. It's very silly, it's very Eurovision. I think in the end that one came fourth. I did really like the guy from Italy. I thought his song was very sweet. I also like the fact that they insisted on it having subtitles so that everyone got the idea of the song, but I just like the fact that it had subtitles so I could know what was going on. I think all songs should have subtitles for whichever country that you're in so that you can understand the song, because there are ones that I like Portugal seemed like a nice song, but I had absolutely no idea what they were talking about, so it's hard for me to connect with it if I don't actually understand the lyrics. Again, Luxembourg I quite liked, but didn't understand it, so I also want to know why the man from Armenia kept singing about saliva, but hey. So I enjoyed my evening. I do look forward to, it'll be several years' time, inducting Eloise into the world of Eurovision and us sitting together and doing it. But as I said, I was a bit underwhelmed by the music, the songs that they had this year. And that is my video for this week. So it's a bit of a mishmash, and it covered probably about a week period, maybe a bit longer. So if you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!